the new TVS Entorq has come out, and it's now a 150cc Entorq. Now, I'm not sure whether or not that this is officially going to be replacing the 125 Entorq completely, or are they still going to keep bringing out the old 125 Entorq as a 125 and this as the 150. But the fact that they turned this into a 150 does signal a change in the Indian market in terms of two-wheelers. That's how I feel. Because the Entorq is a really popular brand for TVS. It's a very popular scooter. People love it. It looks good, especially among a younger audience. They really love the way that scooter handles and drives. I mean, almost everyone's probably driven an Entorq at some point in time. That's how many scooters there are. How many Entorqs there actually are. Now, this being a 150 signals to me the fact that the bike segment and the scooter segment is kind of merging, at least in the sub 200cc category. Because let's face it, there are a lot of powerful bikes out there, and people want 250s, 400s. Those are the kind of bikes that people are looking for these days. And sure, there are a lot of people who want the economy, want a cheaper bike for daily use and all that, for work and all that stuff. But let's face it, a scooter has more practicality for those people than a bike. Now, in the past, the one thing you could differentiate between the scooter and the bikes at the lower end were the fact that the scooters, while it had all the functionality, it didn't really have any sort of driving appeal for the people who were interested in the bikes, because the driving position, the lack of power, and all that. I mean, the 150cc bikes have more power than the scooters and the better handling. That's how it was in the past, at least the way the scooters were made in the past. But now the Entorq kind of changed that a bit. I mean, it had good driving dynamics, it had good handling, it had decent amount of power, and it had all the usability that a bike didn't have. You could carry people more comfortably. You could put luggage on your floorboard. You could put luggage in the underneath the seat. You could put a helmet underneath the seat. That's really helpful. You can, depending on the scooter, you could put 2 helmets in there. And the only thing that's really holding these really good 125cc scooters back was the lack of power, I guess. But now with the Entorq 150, I feel like that's changing. Now, granted, it's not as powerful as the 150s, a lot of the 150cc bikes. But still, the power isn't all that off. And considering all that you would get for the Entorq, the usability, I mean, a scooter can be used by everyone. And this 150cc scooter, it could really appeal to everyone in the family. You need one two-wheeler for the entire family to use. The people who want sporty driving, the people who want usability, the people who don't want to deal with the gear shifts. This could technically do it. And the little bit of extra power that the bike has, and sure, the more driver-focused way that the bike is ridden, I mean, a rider-focused way the bike is ridden, that's not really high enough to compel people to buy that. And that's what I feel like the scooter segment is capitalizing on. The demand for the 125cc bikes, the 150cc bikes, the daily commuter bikes, that's about to go away. And I think people are feeling that they're willing to use a 150cc scooter as their daily driver, because the components aren't that high. And that's why the Entorq brand, something that's so popular, is becoming a 150. And I also see a future where the 150cc segment, anything under 200, is just going to be the scooters. And anything about 200, it's going to be the performance bikes that people want just for the riding experience, hardcore riding experience. And everything under that, it's going to be dominated by the scooters, and the bikes are going to be going away. Because honestly, think about it. Considering what you're getting with the scooter versus the bike is the direct rider position and the little extra power really worth it considering how much usability you have with these scooters? It doesn't really seem that way to me. And yeah, I feel like the 120cc bike, 125cc bikes, the 150cc bikes, they are all gonna be going away because just the fact of these scooters are just better. And think about it. Is anyone who's looking to buy a bike these days who has a budget thinking about a 150? No. But back in the day, even people who had a decent budget, a 150 was an option they considered. But now, everyone's looking at 200 plus. And the people who are looking for the 150 are looking for the practicality and usability, and these scooters offer it. So, what's the point? And I know I'm kind of rambling on about this, but yeah, feel like the Entorq 150 signals the change in the Indian market, that the 150 to 125cc bikes are about to die out, and the scooter segment is about to really go off. And even the economy thing. Apparently, the 150 Entorq is going to have 4 kilometers less mileage. Now, that is something that the scooters cannot really compete with the bikes on, but let's face it, people, even though they do care about it, they're still willing to buy it. And the mileage thing is kind of going down. People want more usability rather than mileage, so it is what it is. And yeah, this is what I feel like is going to happen, and this is the signaling to the future.